DJ, I got to be honest with you. I started the show by still talking about Penix in Atlanta. I know that's going to lead to some eye rolling. I already seen some tweets, people saying that I'm yelling the loudest. Do I? I don't yell.
No,
I don't yell about this sort of thing. I just still, I'm head scratching over this. But I will place in front of you, which is the response that Peter Schrager forwarded on our draft set, and that Chris Brockman just forwarded again, is that the QB purgatory is the worst thing. And if you can stay out of it for 10, 15 years, go for it. And I guess they decided to use draft capital after signing somebody for $100 million guaranteed is the best way to do that.
So here's where, and this is, I was actually looking at this because we've got our own podcast later today, and I was like, all the different layers to this thing, you could literally, and I know you're capable of doing it, Rich, you could do a 30-minute conversation with just yourself and list out all the different angles and arguments in place here. This is where I come down on it. To me, I think there's a financial component to it that hasn't been discussed at all in terms of how do you maximize the value of your roster. One of the reasons we had talked about, with Brock Bowers and where he might go in the draft, it was hard to justify him going to a team that's already paid their quarterback, because once you've paid the quarterback, you have to maximize all your other dollars because they eat up such a big chunk of your cap. So if we look at where the Atlanta Falcons are, and you look at other needs on their roster, it's not just, we needed a pass rusher, we could have taken a pass rusher there. It's what is it going to cost for you to get that position out on the free market and free agency? And how much savings are you getting by taking one there in the top 10? So you're getting a good player at a position of need, but you're also maximizing your limited resources because you've already paid the quarterback. So that's the way to maximize how you build out your roster. Now, one of the arguments I've heard, which I'd love to hear Brockman's explanation on this, because this is how I've heard this explained. We're a good team with Kirk Cousins, and we don't think we'll ever be picking up there at the top of the draft again. So we're going to take the quarterback now, assuming we're never going to be up there, but also with the explanation that we don't want to have a down year because we want to go from one quarterback to the next, and then we don't have that down year. And I sit here and go, well, wait a second. If that was what you're saying, then Kirk Cousins plays well. And then once Kirk Cousins' play takes a dip, then you would be picking up there if you didn't have Penix, and then you would be able to solve your quarterback situation at that point in time. So those two pieces of information don't make any sense to me. I just look at it as you have a team that's ready to win. You've got a quarterback that's ready to go out there right now. I also talk about the financial side. To me, there's also the personal side, which is don't compare this to Green Bay. It is apples to oranges. There is equity built up with Rodgers and Favre inside their city, inside their fan base, inside their locker room, that the first time something went wrong, hey, this guy's already won us a Lombardi trophy. Like, there's Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers aren't going to press. Kirk Cousins has no equity in that stadium, no equity with his teammates, no equity in that city. The first poor throw he has there, everybody in the stadium is going to be clamoring for his backup. So what I'm saying is that everybody's assuming this is just this smooth, great 2 years of Kirk Cousins, and then we go smoothly on to Michael Penix. This could be, it could end up being a disaster on the other side of it. So that's where kind of I am on everything.
So in terms of what they could have done otherwise with 8th overall, guys on the board or trading down.
You had your choice. You could go out there and get, Dallas Turner, who's a big time edge rusher. If you were comfortable with Latu's medicals, he's was the most polished pass rusher. You had Murphy there as well. I mean, look, I had Penix as my 34th player. So I like Michael Penix, but I do believe there are Michael Penixes that come along, on a yearly basis. So that was where I was. I had lobbied for the Raiders to consider him at 13 because I could make the case that Michael Penix, even though he's my 34th player, is more valuable and is a better, more bigger talent than what they have at the position. I can't make that argument when you've got Kirk Cousins on there, who, when you talk to Kevin O'Connell, said, look, if this guy stays healthy last year, he firmly believes he would have been the MVP of the league with the start he was off to there. So I didn't see it as such. Now, it's not. I like Michael Penix. I think Michael Penix is a good player. I think Michael Penix, if he goes to another spot, would have been ready to jump in there and play. I didn't fully understand the fit there, and I'm imagining that Kirk Cousins would have felt the same way.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.